Hey y'all, this is Chuck Cannon, and this is real life, real music.
Real life, real music radio with your host, Kyle Hutton.
Have a seat, I got a spot for you.
You got a little spot for me?
I got a spot for you. Chuck.
You told him about raising a hand, right?
I told him about raising a hand.
Making sure.
Told him about raising a hand, and we're gonna try to sell some of those this evening and help some kids out, help some parents out. How are you doing?
How you been doing?
Man, I've been doing great. But I'm always better when I get to see you smile. And
It's always good to see you. I wish your better half was here, because she's a whole lot easier to look at than you are. But we'll go with what we got.
You know, I think I was saying something to you earlier today about a blind squirrel getting a nut, and I would say that that's been true for both of us in our lifetimes, right?
Ain't it though?
Yeah,
Boy, we've been lucky. We've been lucky.
Well, thank you for being here. I know you flew in from Nashville today.
No, sir. It wasn't quite like that. Let's see. In the last week, I've been in Napa and Fulshire and Katy and where else have I been? San Antonio. I came from Napa to San Antonio and then to Fulshire and then Katy and then I can't remember where all I've been, but now I'm here.
Right. Now you're here.
And somehow or other, the Lord saw fit to help me make it here. What an honor. Man, look at y'all. Man, all these bright lights.
It's pretty nice, right?
It's almost like being on TV.
Be careful what you wish for.
Okay.
All right, so Chuck, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions about your music tonight, but before I start to go down that road, I want you to just pick a song you want to start with, and let's give these people a taste of what they're in for tonight.
Well, now I'm going to ask you then. Should I play one they've maybe heard, or should I just play one they've never heard?
Let's play one they've never heard to start.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is probably one they've never heard. Let's do that. So, as a way of a little bit of background, I moved to Nashville because I wanted to be a singer on TV and radio and all that kind of stuff, and that never quite worked out. But they started liking my songs, and then after I did that for a while, I got back out on the road and just started writing songs that I really loved for myself. And started going around and playing them. And this is a song about what we do out here on the road. I don't know if you ever heard this one, but I think you'll relate. This is what we do. This is a song that I wrote with my buddy Sean Mullins and a wonderful and beautiful poet from Nashville, Tennessee named Christina Aldendiefer. It's Monday night and I'm back again. My old guitar and my trusty grand. And I best you don't come in here sign tattooed on this heart of mine. And from a dirty brown shag carpet stage, I sing my song and I pace the cage. Stuck up here in the twilight zone, staring out to the great unknown. And there's an old Hank Williams figurine hanging by a guitar string from the pull chain of the Pabst Blue Ribbon sign, with the clock that stopped on 9:30. Yeah, the time ain't changed around here in years. It's the same sad stories, same old tears. Ain't nobody wants to be alone out here in the great unknown. And you can find your stool there at the bar. They're designed to take you nowhere far. We got a mirror back behind the whiskey shelves, where we don't dare look back at ourselves. And just past the men's room down the hall, barely hanging there from the crumbling plaster wall, there's a faded sticker on the old payphone that says, "Welcome to the great unknown." And it's out beyond the yonder star. Oh, and it's all up in there, right where you are. By some cosmic wind we're blown out into the great unknown. And hopes and dreams and ash and dust, yeah, it all seems to either rot or rust. We're souls wrapped up in flesh and bone, heartbeats in the great unknown. It's Monday night, and I'm back again.
Okay. Well, we're just going to jump right in. If you're going to start things that way, then we're going to jump right in.
Hey, y'all ever notice, is it just me? The devil is in the wine. Because see, like when you're thirsty and you're drinking wine, you have to drink a lot more wine to chase the thirsty away.
Is that wine for him?
Yes, it is.
Right.
No, you can
Thanks
have it. They'll bring more, I'm sure.
No. If I drink that, I'll just want more. So, all right. Well, no, I'm not going to go there yet. I'm going to go here. So, I think probably most people that that enjoy country music, that's giving me an idea for a new song. That's a pretty good little melody right there. We're embarrassing her so that you all will turn off your cell phones.
So we can do our show. You came in tonight, I thought that you would know better than to leave your phone on. Now it's ringing on and on. Turn your cell phone off when you come in to the show.
By request. By request. Okay, so we're going there.
That's on tape because I just made that up, and I sure would like to remember that for the next time it happens.
Are we rolling? We're rolling. All right, perfect. So look, we're already full throttle into this thing. So I'm just going to say, any Toby Keith fans out there, we're sad. We're sad to lose
Kyle,
Toby Keith.
Go where you were going to go.
No, this is where I'm going. This is where I'm going right now. This is where I'm going because one of the things I love about you is I love the stories behind the songs. And I'm just going to say, for the times that you and I have spent together, and we've talked about Toby Keith and you writing some songs for Toby Keith, I'm going to say it seems like maybe y'all had an interesting relationship.
We had a great relationship.
Would that be a good word?
Yeah, man. I love Toby. He's one of the best damn songwriters ever.
Was he ornery?
Unbelievable.
He pretty ornery?
Toby had an edge.
I got you.
Toby had a little bit of edge. I mean, but I think that's how come we got along, because I got a little bit of edge too.
No.
But yeah, we had a great relationship, man.
Tell the story. I love hearing how these songs come about, and you guys got a pretty good one out of a highlight reel on ESPN.
Yeah, you might say. Boy, where to start the story? Okay, it goes back so far that Toby was opening for my wife. My wife was Laurie White, and we were at a big festival. And thank y'all. And we were at a festival, and Toby was on before Laurie, because she was the bigger star at that time. And him and Tracy Lawrence, I don't want to put nobody under the bus, but yeah, his initials was Tracy Lawrence. They were standing by the stage, and I remember Laurie had seen this pair of red leather high-top tennis shoes. Okay. And she bought them for me. And so, when your wife buys you some shoes, you better wear them things if you know what's good for you. Anyway, I'm wearing them red high-top leather tennis shoes, and Toby and Tracy are standing inside the stage, and they're making fun of my shoes. And I had just had a real big hit on John Michael Montgomery, a song called "I Love the Way You Love Me," and it just won Song of the Year on it. And they're standing there, and I was the guitar player in my wife's band. I was playing rhythm acoustic guitar, well, trying to. The other guitar players in the band would probably, if they see this, they'll start laughing because I wasn't all that good a guitar player back then. But Toby and Tracy were standing next to the stage, and they giving me a hard time about my red tennis shoes, And I walked off the stage, and I just looked, and I said, "You boys want to get your career on track, call me up, and I'll write you a hit song." Just being a smart aleck, guys being guys. And I went on over to my bus, and or Laurie's bus, and in about 20 minutes, somebody's knocking on the bus door, and it's David Milam, who was Toby's road manager at that time. He said, "Boss wants you to come over to the bus and hang out a little bit." So I said, "All right." And I went over and I hung out with Toby, and we, laughed and talked. He said, "Well, look, man, I'm circling back through Kansas City in a couple of weeks, and why don't you just fly out to Kansas City, and then we'll do 3 shows and be back in Nashville, and we'll have time to write during the day." And so it was, my publishing deal ended on March the 31st that year, the one publishing deal I've ever been in. And I flew out to Toby on April the 15th, literally a week and a day later. And when David Milam picked me up at the airport, he said, "Just so you know," I got there like 3 in the afternoon. He said, "Just so you know, boss likes to get started about 1 o'clock in the morning," and which was fine by me because that's when I would write. Most of the songs I ever wrote was between 10 o'clock at night and 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. A couple of things happened. The phone doesn't ring anymore, and that little imp that's on my shoulder that's all the time pestering me, going, "Why, you think that's any good? Why do you think you have anything that anybody would want to hear?" And it gets tired and shuts up, and and I can get something done. And so it was fine by me. And at 5 minutes to 1, Toby knocked on the door, and he comes in and walks in, and he goes, "Play me a song." And I started to play a song and broke a string. And so I handed him a set of headphones, and I had a tape that had a bunch of my songs on it. I said, "Hey man, just stick these headphones on and listen to some of the songs that I wrote, and let me get this string changed." And I'm changing the string. We've got the TV on, but it's on silent, and Toby's got headphones on, and there's a series of hits on ESPN, like major hits, like hits that put people out of games. It's hits that they don't even show on there anymore because football has gotten a little different than it used to be. Probably a good thing. But right in the middle of it, Toby's got the headphones on, and he takes them off, and he goes, points at the TV, and there was this hit where, if y'all remember Johnny Sample, he played free safety for the Oakland Raiders back in the day, and he was widely known as a hard hitter and a dirty ball player, but he would hit hard. And somebody was on this post pattern, jumped up to catch the ball, and Johnny took his helmet and head off. The guy's out cold, and Johnny Sample was straddled of him. He's straddled of him, and he's pointing down at him. And Toby goes, "You know what he's saying?" And I said, "No, bro, what?" He goes, "He's saying, 'How do you like me now?'" And I went, "Yeah." And he goes, "You reckon there's a song in that?" And the good Lord was with me, and and I said, "Yeah, there could be a song in that. I guess there could be a song in that." And he said, "I've always wanted to write something like Listen to the Music," that Doobie Brothers song. I'm actually saying this out loud, but I did talk to Tommy Johnston, and I told him this whole story. He wrote Listen to the Music, so he was the Doobie Brother that wrote Listen to the Music. I told him this story. I said, "You ain't the kind of guy that sues people, are you?" I said, "No, man," because he had said something about "How do you like me now?" Anyway, and I said, "Well, How do you like me now is Listen to the Music backwards." Let's listen to the music. How do you like me now? I just said, because when Toby said something like "Listen to the Music" blended with Eddie Raven.
I like it.
And I'm like, okay. And so I picked the guitar up and I go, and he goes, "You know how to play Listen to the Music?" And I said, "Yeah, man, most guitar players figure that one out." And I said, "But we can't do that." So I just started messing with it and just went on. Kyle, God is my witness, right here in front of where people will see this, I sang off the top of my head, I was always a crazy one, broke into the stadium, wrote down your number on the 50-yard line. And Toby goes, wait, what? And I said, we don't have to use that. And he went, no, did you just rhyme crazy one in stadium? And I said, yeah, but it doesn't really rhyme. And he goes, oh, we're going to get along just fine. He said, you just made that up? And I was like, well, yeah, and you've done that too. He said, yeah, but I ain't seen many people do that. And so in 20 minutes, we had written this whole song. Wow. It was done. Wow. And it was the first song we ever wrote. And it was, I think, 4 albums later before they put it on the record. And even then, they did not want it to, Scott Bruschetta, and I mean, you know, he would tell you it's the truth. He was the head of promotion at the label, and he really didn't think that the women would like it. The women demographic would like the song. Turned out the woman demographic was the one that loved it the most. And, you know, they were really worried about it. In fact, they had, the way they used to do it is they would release a single, and then they would wait for that single to get to, they'd get, you know, top 30, you know, around 30, 29, something like that. And then they would send the record out to all of the reporting stations. And then a week later, it would go out to the public. And so we had a song called When Love Fades, and it's on the How Do You Like Me Now album, which wasn't titled How Do You Like Me Now originally. Anyway, they were avoiding that song like crazy, and they had put out a song called When Love Fades. It had gone to number, I think, 31, maybe 29, something like that. And they sent the album out to radio. That following Monday was when all of the stations reported, and Toby called me on the telephone, because I had never called him to ask him what was going on. He'd always call and tell me what had happened that week with the song. And he called me up and he goes, hey, Halls. I said, what's up, bro? And he goes, you sitting down? And I said, no, do I need to sit down? Is everything all right? He said, yeah, everything's all right, but you might want to sit down for this one. And I go, what? And he goes, and at that time, there were 127 reporting stations. There were a lot more stations than that, but those were the big ones. And what you wanted to do was get your song added to that station's rotation list. And you wanted to get it, usually they would add it in light rotation. That meant maybe once every other day. Heavy is 7 or 8 times a day. That's when you guys start getting sick of the song, which is the objective of a songwriter, is to make you sick to death of hearing it. Anyway, he calls me up and he goes, man, you ain't gonna believe this. We were the most added song today. And I go, wow, okay, that's cool. He goes, in fact, we got all 127 stations on the panel. And I go, get out. And he goes, yeah. He goes, and not only that, there are 5 of them playing it in light, 6 playing it in medium, and all the rest are playing it in heady. And I went, well, Toby, this song ain't all that. What? And he goes, no, man, it ain't When Love Fades, it's How Do You Like Me Now? And I go, what? And he goes, yeah, when the radio stations got it on Friday, they just started playing it and the phones lit up and the people voted. And he goes, we jumped the song that they were promoting this week. Wow. And I'm like, whoa. And along the back end of that story is on Billboard magazine. I've got a copy at the house, and it's 72nd week. So what's that, a week? That's a year and almost a half, close. It was still in the top 10.
Good night.
It was a big song. It goes like this. Yeah, I was always a crazy one. Broke into the stadium. Wrote down your number on the 50-yard line. You were always a perfect one. Little Miss Valedictorian. So under your number I wrote, call for a good time, and I only wanted to get your attention, but you overlooked me somehow. Besides, you had too many boyfriends to mention, and I played my guitar too loud. How do you like me now? Yeah, how do you like me now? Now that I'm on my way, you still think I'm crazy, standing you today, and I couldn't make you love me, but I always dreamed about living in your radio. How do you like me now? And I heard that you made fun of me when I took off and went to Tennessee. Well, I guess you never imagined I could make it this far. You married into money, girl. Oh, but it's a cruel and a funny world. You took all your dreams and he tore them apart, and you never comes home, and you're always alone, and your kids hear you crying down the hall. The alarm clock starts ringing. Who could that be singing? It's me, babe. It's your wake-up call. How do you like me now? Ooh, how do you like me now? Now that I'm on my way, you still think I'm crazy, standing here today, and I couldn't make you love me, but I always dreamed about living in your radio. I'm living in your radio, babe. Hey, I'm living in your radio. Help me, y'all.
Yeah. Are y'all having a good time so far? Everybody good? Okay. All right. So not too long ago, we had the biggest concert that we've ever had in Bryan College Station.
I do have to say one more thing about that,
right,
because I miss that man. Great guy. He said, now, we know how this happened. He said, now you watch how they'll all scramble for credit. And it's true, man. Every one of them, it was all their idea. And the whole time they were trying to stop us. Anyway, I should have told that back at the beginning.
That's all right.
I'd have messed up your flow here.
You're good.
You got to edit and put it back where it went.
No, this is real life, real music. We just had the King play at Kyle Field, George Strait. It was a big old show, 108,000 people. It's a big show. One of my favorite George Strait songs you wrote with another one of my favorite songwriters from Huffman, Texas, Mr. Alan Shamblin. And you wrote a song called Poison.
I did.
And since we're talking about the devil's wine tonight,
Woo.
Poison. What a great song.
I always like to ask the question before I play this song. How many of y'all have ever fell in love with the wrong person? Now, the reason I like to ask that question is because it's usually people in here by themselves and they'll raise their hands real fast. And then there's a couple of brave ones that's in here with somebody else and they'll raise it. And then you see all these people like get real still and look straight ahead. And you know they're in here with them. So I make it easier. How many of y'all ever fell in love with the wrong thing? That's only a big one, right? I wore that T-shirt out too. Yeah, me and Alan Shamblin wrote this song, yeah, it's one of my favorites. My first sip made me gag, and I thought I was gonna blow beats.
Still gets me every time.
All right, wait a minute. I got to tell y'all, is it okay if I tell a little story?
Yes.
Okay, so Alan and I wrote this song, and it's one of my favorite songs I've ever written, but that opening line, right? So we wrote this thing, and the way you get a song recorded is you make a demonstration recording of it, and you pitch it all over town, and you hope you can pitch it to the A&R and they like it, or you hope you can pitch it to the artist and they like it. It's helpful if you know the artist's wife and you can pitch it to her. It's most helpful if you know the artist's mistress and you can pitch it to her. Or the artist, Mr., whatever the case may be. Anyhow, we had been pitching this song because we were really proud of it. We had been pitching this thing around, and invariably, people would love it, and they would put it on hold, and they're going to cut this thing, but invariably, it would be either me or Alan that would get the call that would say, "Man, I love this song, Poison. I just can't see myself." They would say some variation of, "I just can't see myself saying blow beats on stage." I don't want to roll nobody under the bus. One of them's initials was Billy Dean. Randy Houser. There was a lot of them. I mean, it was 10 years of, probably a dozen artists putting the thing on hold. I'm playing a show in Key West, Florida, and Jake Owen walks up to me after the show, and he goes, "Man, I love that song, Poison. I want to cut it." And I said, "Okay." And he goes, "Well, Tony Brown, who is George's producer," he said, "Tony Brown's cutting a new record on me. How about send a copy of it over to Tony?" And I said, "I'll do it as soon as I get back to town." I was getting back to town the next day. Got back into Nashville. Send it to Tony. I said, "Hey, Tony," send him a note with it. "Hey, Tony," and send it. Now we can do it through our phones. We just sent an MP3 over. And I said, "Hey, Tony, Jake Owen said he wanted to record this song, said you were cutting him." 10 minutes go by. You never hear back from the producers, for a long time. It's usually a few weeks, And my phone rings in 10 minutes, and I look down, it's Tony. And I go, "Hello?" And he goes, "Chuck." And I go, "Hey." He goes, "This is Tony." And I said, "Hey, Tony." And he goes, "Man, you sent this song here, Poison, over." I said, "Yeah." He goes, I'm not cutting this on Jake Owen." And I said, "Well, Tony, Jake said he wanted to record it." And he goes, "No, I'm cutting this on George Strait. He's already heard it, and he loves it." And then I'm thinking, and Jake, God bless you, brother. Thank you for loving the song. But I'm thinking, George Strait, Jake Owen. I said, "Tony, cut it on George." And the cool thing is I remember Alan telling me one time, he said, "Man, I go back home to Texas, and it doesn't matter how many songs y'all know who Alan is? He's the guy that wrote, I Can't Make You Love Me If You Don't, and The House That Built Me, and so many other great, great, great songs." He goes, "I go back home to Texas, and no matter how many songs I've had recorded," and he goes, "People say, 'Well, has George cut one of your songs yet?'" And he goes, "And they don't mean George Jones." So you can bet that when I got off the phone with Tony, first person I called was Alan. I said, "Alan, you're not going to believe this. Tony's going to cut Poison on Straight." That was one of my favorite phone calls of all time. I love that man. Alan Shamlin is an amazing songwriter. And here's the little song that George recorded. "My first sip made me gag, and I thought I was gonna blow beats. So after he cut it, I ran into George at an award show, and he and my wife used to go out, and she opened for him for like a year, and so they knew each other. And I had met him a couple of times. He saw her and said hello to her, and I shook his hand and said, "Hey, George, Chuck Cannon," and he goes, "Hey, Chuck, how you doing?" "Yeah, man, how you doing? Writing them songs, huh?" And I said, "Well, man, I just wanted to thank you for recording Poison." And he went. He's got my hand in his hand in a handshake. And he goes, "Blow beats." So we stuck to our guns, and it was the very reason probably that somebody recorded that song, and it was King George himself. My first sip made me gag, and I thought I was gonna blow beats. But I took another, and pretty soon, brother, sour mash started tasting sweet. Made me feel brave and strong, bulletproof, like I could do no wrong. But I found out before too long what I should have known. You can learn to love anything. Even a bird in a cage will sing his song. Even if it's wrong, even if it kills you in the end. You can learn to love anything. Trade your heart and soul for a ball and chain. Anything can bring you pleasure, even pain. Pick your poison. Poison. Pick your poison. Ruby lips hid a razor tongue, and a heart as blue as glacier ice. I was warm, but I was willing to ignore everybody's advice. The more I gave, the more she took. She walked away without a second look. It's just one more page in that great big book on how you can learn to love anything. Even a bird in a cage will sing a song. Even if it's wrong, even if it kills you in the end. You can learn to love anything. Trade your heart and soul for a ball and chain. Anything can bring you pleasure. You can learn to love anything. A prison wall or a ball and chain. Anything can bring you pleasure, even pain. Pick your poison, poison. Pick your poison. That's an uplifting little song.
Love that song. That's a great song.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to ask you about, because sometimes songs hit me different for different reasons. And when I first started listening to your music, there was a line in a song that I don't know for what reason it grabbed me, but it was the line that grabbed me. And it was a line, I think in the third verse of Can't Wait Till the Money Don't Matter No More. And it is a line that says, that's a hell of a thing to become famous for.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a thing to become famous for. And if I remember the verse, 30 pieces of silver is all that it took to make Judas give Jesus the kiss of a crook. That's a hell of a thing to become famous for. Man, tell us, I want to know specifically about that line and where that one came from. And then play that song for us. It's one of my favorites.
I was in Anguilla. Anguilla is a little country right across the little strait there from St. Martin. 6 miles long, 3 miles wide. Little third world country. And there was a tennis school that would gather all of the young tennis players from all over the Caribbean, and they would bring them to Anguilla and teach them tennis and get them really good, or the ones who showed the most promise, they would end up in schools in America, and it was a great outreach program to get to share America with some kids from third world countries that would never have such an opportunity. And we were down there, I was down there with a group of songwriters, big songwriters, I think Bob DePiro, Jeff Steele, Scotty Emmerich, Chuck Jones, Hank Williams' granddaughter, Holly Williams. Did I say Jeffrey Steele? It was a bunch of really good songwriters down there. And we were staying in this really super nice, just super nice house, private beach, whole 9 yards. That day we had driven in a little van across the island to play that morning at the tennis school for a lot of people, and then we went back, and it was the first time we had really, seen what the island looked like, and we were witnessing it. Really a third world country. I mean, to build on an extra room to the house, they just moved the strut out a little bit and got another piece of corrugated tin and leaned it on that. It was just third world. And we got back, and we've got people waiting on us, bringing us food and everything, which was really nice, and everything has its place. But I remember we were finishing up and we were talking about, that none of us had been out on the island. We had all just been at this one little place. And we were talking about some of the depravity that we saw, and I'm sitting there, and I was looking down, and I said, "Yeah, man, it'll make you wish that money doesn't matter no more." And as soon as I said it, I was like, "Well, that was not very smart. You just said that in front of 6 songwriters that are world-class songwriters, and their ears are perked for ideas at all times." And I didn't even look up from the table because I knew what I had just done, and I kind of pushed back and I walked down to the beach and got there, and I was just like looking out across the sound there at St. Martin, and my buddy Chuck Jones comes up behind me and goes, "Hey man." I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Did you hear what you just said?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, there's 5 other songwriters up there that heard it too, and they're talking about it." And I went, "Yeah, I know, I got to write it quick." And he goes, "Well, you want to write it?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Listen, I had already showered and was ready for the show that night." He goes, "I got to run and jump through the shower, and I'll meet you in your room." I was like, "Okay." So I went up to the room, and he got out of the shower, came in there, and he was dressed. And he goes, "All right, man, you want to work on it?" I said, "Man, I am so sorry. While you were taking a shower, I wrote this." I said, "And I don't know if it needs any help. Let me play it for you." And I played it, and he and Holly Williams, Hank Williams' granddaughter, they were the first people who ever heard it. And yeah, I love this song, and thank you for asking about it. Where that line came from, I have no idea. I was just following the muse, and this is one that was probably 15 minutes in the writing. Wow. Because it all just once it starts coming, once the story of the, and it's not exactly a story song, but once the context and the little vignettes of stories that you want to put in, once they start coming, they start making sense. And then you're just pulling the thread and figuring out where the thread goes. And so I wrote the song, and then a few years later, I was about to make a record. Well, it's actually the next year I was about to make a record, and I wanted to put it on the record, but it just felt like it needed some kind of musical thing, and so I wrote a guitar Irish jig to it. And the Irish jig is called, the song is called Money Don't Matter, and the Irish jig is called Loose Change. Trying to make money takes most of our lives. It's been known to make husbands strangers to wives, until the kids don't recognize them when they come through the door. Yes, enough to make you wish money don't matter no more. She's got a minimum wage job, 30 hours a week. On her man, well, he done left her with 3 hungry mouths she's trying to feed. She's stealing some milk from the grocery store. Yeah, it'll make you wish money don't matter no more. We're all underpaid and we're all overwhelmed. Oh, how I wish love was the coin of the realm, where everyone's rich, oh, and nobody's poor. Yes, sometimes I wish money don't matter no more. How about y'all? Now you can make it the measure of how much you're worth. You can store up your treasure down here on earth. You could buy you a big boat that won't sail heaven's sweet shore. That safe harbor where the money don't matter no more. We're all underpaid and we're all overwhelmed. Oh, how I wish love was the coin of the realm, where everyone's rich, oh, and nobody's poor. In the place where the money don't matter no more, no. $30 pieces of silver was all that it took. Make Judas give Jesus the kiss of a crook. Now that's a hell of a thing to become famous for. Just to find out that the money don't matter no more. We're all underpaid and we're all overwhelmed. Oh, how I wish love was the coin of the realm, where everyone's rich, oh, and nobody's poor. I can't wait till the money don't matter no more. Well, now the Christians and the Buddhists and the Muslims and Jews and the atheists, the agnostic, the Rastafarian, the Zoroastrian, the Confucian, the Presbyterian, Episcopalian, Southern Baptist, Methodist, Roman Catholics, and even Sikhs and Hindus. The doctor, the lawyer, the preacher, the whore. Guess what, y'all? We all gonna end up where the money don't matter no more. We're all underpaid and we're all overwhelmed. Oh, how I wish love was the coin of the realm, where everyone's rich, oh, and nobody's poor. When we all get where the money don't matter no more.
Do y'all like my friends?
Yeah.
Man.
We like you, Kyle.
God, I love that song, Chuck. It's such a great song. Okay, I'm just going to ask you about another one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would say one of my other favorite Chuck Cannon songs is a song called I Ain't Ever Gonna Get Out of This Town.
That's a good one.
God, it's a good song.
Yeah. Should I just play the song or you want to hear the story? I don't know how this...
No, you can tell us a story. I've always, for me, one of the first songs I can remember that made me feel like this song makes me feel is Springsteen's The River. I mean, just that, golly. There's something good about feeling miserable sometimes. And there's certain songs that push that button. And man, does this one.
Well, this is actually a great Texas story, too.
Well, tell us.
You know, y'all know Mac Davis. Y'all remember Mac? So the way I met Mac Davis was, it was back when it would have been about 96 or so, right along there. And my wife and I had moved into the house that we lived in, and we used to do this little activity on Saturday called yard sailing. That's where you go, over to other people's house and buy their junk and bring it home, make it your own. But we had a good time doing that, and we got a lot of really cool stuff, and it was a fun thing to do. It was always so much fun, and I'd promised her that I was going to take her yard sailing on this Saturday morning, and she had gotten up and she was in the shower, and it's like 7:30 in the morning, maybe 7, and my phone rings, and it's BMI on a Saturday. And this was before all of the stuff with the fake phone numbers, you know. This was back when it was real phones, you know. So I answered it, and it was Roger Sovine, who was the head of BMI. And he goes, "Hey there, Chuck, how you doing this early this Saturday morning?" And I was like, "I'm all right, Roger." He goes, what are you doing right now?" I said, "Well, I'm wondering how come you're calling me at 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday." He said, "Oh, I was just checking on you. I want to see what you was up to today. You got plans?" And I said, "Yeah, Laurie and I are going yard sailing." And he goes, "Oh, man, that sounds like fun. I wish I could go yard sailing." He said, "Well, let me ask you something. Would you rather go yard sailing, or would you rather write with Mac Davis?" And I said, "In the ghetto, Mac Davis?" And he said, "Same one. He asked for you by name." And I was like, "Okay, wait, what?" And he goes, "Yeah, Mac Davis is here, and I was wondering if you want to come down here and write with him today." And I went, "Well, hold on, I got to ask the boss, but hold on." And I go and I open the shower door, and Laurie's standing in there in the shower, and I can still see her wiping the soap out of her eyes, and them green eyes looking at me going, "What?" Because she knew something was coming, and I said, "Baby." Because that's how I talked to her back then. BK. Before kids. Tara's gonna know what I'm talking about. So she said, I said, "Baby, I know I promised you that I would take you yard sailing today. And that's what I really want to do." But Roger Sovine is on the phone, and he wants to know if instead of going yard sailing with you, which I will do if that's what you want me to do, because that's really what I want to do, is go yard sailing with you. But and she goes, "Honey," and I go, "But he says that Mac Davis wants to write with me today." And she goes, "In the ghetto, Mac Davis?" And I said, "Yeah, baby, in the ghetto, Mac Davis." And Roger said that he asked for me by name. And she stands there for just a second. She goes, "Nope. He didn't ask for you by name. He flew in on the red eye, and he got here at 6 o'clock this morning. So they're probably at breakfast, and he asked Roger to see if he could call the guy that had the #1 song last week. And you were lucky enough to have the #1 song last week. So that's what Mac Davis asked for, to write with the guy that wrote the #1 song from last week. So you're just lucky. But you get your ass down there and you write with Mac Davis." And she said, "And one more thing. Don't you let him go somewhere to eat tonight. You bring him over here to the house, because I'm making my meatloaf." And I knew, because I knew what she's doing. She's working it too, because I knew if he ever ate her meatloaf, he'd be coming back. It didn't matter. It didn't matter what kind of song we wrote. He'd come back for the meatloaf. And she goes, and he probably hadn't even checked into his motel, so just tell him to come here and stay with us. Instead of y'all writing down there at BMI, come over here and write. So I go down, we start writing, and Mac and I became really close friends. In fact, my kids grew up calling he and his wife, Lisa, Uncle Mac and Aunt Lisa. I remember my son, he'd probably been about 11. He came to me one day and said, "Daddy, so now is Uncle Mac your brother or Mama's brother?" And I had to explain to him that Southern thing, you know, and it broke his little heart, you know. Anyhow, Mac and I were close friends. But writing with Mac was it was an adventure, because he was one of the greatest songwriters to ever live, and he was fast and he was good, and I mean, he wrote In the Ghetto, you know, and a bunch of other stuff that's just mind-boggling. But writing with him was like being a pretty good basketball player in high school and find yourself playing one-on-one with Michael Jordan. He was just that big a jump. And And I'd been writing with him all week. We'd been writing together for 3 or 4 years. He stayed at my house every time he came to Nashville, and we'd been writing for a few years. And this particular week we had written every day, and it was Friday, and I was tired. And I looked out the window. It was 8 o'clock in the morning. Mac's down there pacing up and down in front of the studio, waiting on me because he liked to get started early. And I thought, man, I don't know if I got it in me today. I said, I know what I'll do. I'll call one of my buddies. So I called my buddy Jeffrey Steele. Jeffrey's a great songwriter. You know, one of his that you may have heard, what hurts the most is being so close, and hundreds of other cuts. Jeffrey's an amazing songwriter. And he answers the phone like this. It's 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday. He goes, I know this is good. And I went, hey, Jeff. He went, what the hell is going on? It's 8 o'clock. And I said, hey, man, you want to write with Mac Davis today? And he goes, in the ghetto, Mac Davis? I said, yeah, bro. And he goes, I'll be there in an hour. About 45 minutes, he comes pulling up. Mac loves to tell stories better than I do. And, you know, we did our introductions. You know, we're standing out on the front porch of my studio just talking, carrying on. And Mac tells us this story about when they finally, at Lubbock, they made a Mac Davis Day, and they named a road after him. And so they wanted him to come over and do a concert for the commemoration of this, this moment. And he said, man, I sure there wasn't nobody going to come see me play. Nobody wanted to see me play. And he said, and I get over there, and at Lubbock High School football stadium, they got 25,000 people. And I'm like, well, you're Mac in the Ghetto Davis? He goes, yeah, but I'm old. I don't know nobody want to hear me no more. And so he's like, he says, so I'll go up on this stage, and I only had 30 minutes worth of songs, and I walked off the back of the stage, and I got in the limo. He said, well, it wasn't exactly a limo. It was a big black car, and it had a Nike swoosh symbol on the back of it. And I said, wait, a hearse? He said, yeah, that's what you call them. He said, but, it was Lubbock. They was doing the best they could do. He said, so I get in the limo, and I'm heading back over to the airport, and this little feller that's driving the limo just pulls over the side of the road when we get on the airport property and stopped. He said, I thought that the limo broke down. He said, and this feller looks around at me and he goes, how'd you do it, Mr. Davis? And Mac said, how'd I do what? And he said, how'd you ever get out of Lubbock? And Mac said, oh, well, when I was a little feller, I could whistle pretty good, and I could whistle a good little tune, and then I got a little bit older, and I started putting words to it, writing words to it, and he said, and the feller just interrupted me. He said, oh, I can't whistle a lick. He said, and I can barely write my name. I ain't never going to get out of this town. And that's when Jeffrey and I look at each other, and we're like, I ain't ever going to get out of this town. Mac goes on with his story, and he's like looking up in, trees and looking around, telling us this story about Mac Davis Day, and next thing you know, we hear him go, hey, and I look, and he goes, are you boys listening to me? And I said, no, Mac, we're writing a song. And he goes, writing a song? And Jeffrey goes, yeah, you said I ain't never going to get out of this town. Now, Mac, being a real good songwriter, knows a good idea when he hears one. And he went, ooh, that is a good idea. Boy, that's pregnant with possibilities. And about this time, a airplane flew over leaving a contrail, and Mac goes, I've never gotten an airplane flying over in one of my songs. Reckon we could get one flying over in this? And here's what we come up with. Well, there's only one road running through these parts, It pretty much stops right where it starts. It winds out a ways, then it comes back around. I ain't ever gonna get out of this town. I ain't ever gonna get out of this town. Well, the train pulled out and it never came back. There's weeds growing up through the rusty old track. Them planes fly over, but they never touch down. I ain't ever gonna get out of this town. I ain't ever gonna get out of this town. But there's this dream that I've been dreaming all these years, where I ride into the sun and disappear. I got an old Chevy Nova sitting up on blocks, a bunch of greasy old parts in a cardboard box. I fixed her up one time, but then she broke back down. And I ain't ever gonna get out of this town. I ain't ever gonna get out of this town. We got right there, and God is my witness, Jeffrey Steele goes, "Boys, I'm sorry, I gotta go." And we're like, "What?" And he goes, "No, seriously, I gotta go. I got a flight I gotta catch, and I gotta leave now, or I'm gonna miss it." And we're like, "Man, we've got a pretty good song going here." And yeah, I gotta go. And so he drives off down the driveway. Mac and I look at each other, shrug our shoulders, and walk in. We start working on another song. About 45 minutes later, the phone rings, and I look down, it's Jeffrey calling. I answer, and he goes, "Put me on the speaker, put me on." Well, we think he's got the line. Nope. We're looking for something that rhymes with town, right? And he goes, "Fellas, I ain't got the line, but I'm pretty dang sure it's got something to do with a wedding gown." We're like, "Okay." He goes, "All right, well, y'all call me back in about 15 minutes and tell me it'll take me that long to get through security." He said, "Call me back and tell me what the line is so I can sing it when I get to LA." So we did this. I was stealing Jenny's kisses since the 11th grade, and there ain't no running from the love we made. Now we're shopping for a stroller and a wedding gown, and I ain't ever gonna get out of this town. But there's this dream that I've been dreaming all these years, where I fly into the sun and disappear. But you just can't get there from here. Well, we buried my daddy, sang Amazing Grace, and the preacher says now he's in a better place. Oh, but I couldn't help thinking when we put him in the ground. I ain't ever gonna get out of this town.
Anybody else got goosebumps out there? Good Lord, Chuck Cannon.
Thank you. Man, you picking my favorite songs that I've ever wrote.
Are y'all doing okay out there? Okay.
Do they know how long I can go?
I had actually forgotten. No, I love this. Now, I did get a text from my producer that says we got to get about 4 or 5 more songs in with a little bit less talking.
We better hurry.
So we are going to hurry. But hey, listen, real quick. Thank you guys for being here tonight and being such a great audience. I mean, it's not that many places in the world where we as songwriters get to sit somewhere where people are like listening and hanging on to every word. And so I want to thank again Lake Walk Destination Brian, Stella. Thank you for giving us this venue to be able to do this and make this happen. And then my friends at Blue Forge Alliance, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for what you do. For those of you listening to the radio show or watching the podcast, go check out Blue Forge Alliance and see what they're doing for our country right now. Ultimately, we got to be able to take care of things at home that we need to take care of at home. And Blue Forge Alliance works every day to make sure that we can protect ourselves, protect our families, have a safe place to live. And not only do they do that right here in this community, based in this community, but they put money back into the culture of the community. And we appreciate you guys doing that tonight. So thank you to all of our sponsors for making this happen. Man, I've heard you do a medley before of songs that you and Toby Keith had written. Can you give us something that's a little bit of a
let's do
little
that.
bit of a taste of some of the other stuff that you and Toby had a lot of success on over the years in his career?
She left a yellow rose in a long neck bottle on the table beside my bed, with a short little note said I had a good time, and it was written lipstick red. She didn't leave her name. I wonder if that's a little secret that she keeps. Ooh, she's walking around in my sleep. Dream walking, pillow talking, she's calling my name again. Day's breaking, I ain't waking up, I'm sleeping in. I'm on a roll now, I gotta know how this dream ends. Ooh, it's a thin line between a dream and a memory. I'll be losing my mind until she comes back to me. Ooh, dream walking, pillow talk, she's calling my name again. Day's breaking, I ain't waking up, I'm sleeping in. I'm on a roll now, I gotta know how this dream ends. meets a girl, and it's a safe bet that the girl's gonna play a little hard to get, but they both got the same thing on their mind. Now ain't that what makes the world go around? And don't it get you up, don't it get you down, get you walking around with your flashlight trying to find love. Ooh, gotta get you some, gotta get you some, gotta get you some. Ooh, gotta get you some love. Ooh, gotta get you some, gotta get you some, gotta get you some. Ooh, gotta get you some love. No finance and money. Oh, you gonna need that. Oh yeah. If I could invent a time machine, baby, we'd both be 17. Cruising in my first car, acting like movie stars on Friday night. Do you remember those Friday nights when we were ready to roll, and there was a fire down in our souls, when all the whole world had to stand still and turn around us, 'cause that was a deal. And oh, how those nights went flowing like wine. I was all yours, you were all mine, and we were in love. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but baby, you're still the one. So let's find a way to bring back the days when our hearts were forever young. We were ready to roll. There was a fire down in our souls, and all the whole world had to stand still and turn around us, 'cause that was the deal. And oh, how those nights went flowing like wine, when I was all yours and you were all mine, and we were in love. Oh, we were in love. Baby, we were in love. I'm just trying to be a father, raise a daughter and a son, be a lover to their mother, everything to everyone. I'm up and at 'em bright and early. I'm all business in my suit. Yeah, I'm dressed up for success, from my hat down to my boots. And I can't call in sick on Monday when the weekend's been too strong. I just work straight through the holidays, sometimes all night long. But you can bet that I stand ready when that old wolf growls at the door. I'm solid and steady, and I'm true down to the core, and I will always do my duty, no matter what the price. I've counted up the cost, I know the sacrifice, and I don't wanna have to die for you. But if dying's asked of me, I will bear that cross with honor, 'cause freedom don't come free. I'm an American soldier, an American. Beside my brother and my sister, I will make my stand. When liberty's in jeopardy, I'll do what's right. I'll be out here on the front lines. You can sleep in peace tonight. I'm an American soldier. I'm an American. Thank you.
Do you know Fox?
Yeah, we're gonna do that one too. But you got to play this one.
You won't.
I got to. Yeah, you got to play it. You got to play it. Oh,
Okay,
man.
I'll do it for you.
Are y'all doing okay? Is everybody doing okay out there? All right, all right. I got a few more. He ain't getting out of here yet. Come on.
I want to play slide on this. See if I know how this thing works.
It's about to get swampy in here, folks.
This is almost embarrassing to play. I wrote this when I was a young man. There was one time my wife was out of town. She'd taken the young'uns with her and everything, and had a big party at my house. And there was a real pretty girl there, and she started flirting with me. You remember a while ago when your phone started ringing, I just made up a song? She was sitting about where you are. She was flirting with me, so I just made up a song for her. She looked at me and she winked. And I looked back at her and I said, I bet your mama look good too. And then I realized that once again, right in front of a bunch of songwriters, I had said something like that. Knew that they'd write it, and then I'd be like, no, man, I said that. And they'd be like, yeah, but I wrote it. So I took my guitar off and I walked down the driveway and came back. Because I knew that she was there with this other guy, but I could tell that she wasn't all that into him. And so, you know, when she did that thing sitting on the back of that pickup truck, and she did that thing, you know that thing they'll do where they cross their leg like this right here, and then they'll look at you and go, she did that. And so I just went, I bet your mama look good too. I bet your mama look good too. I bet your daddy wants your mama just the way that I want you. I bet your mama look good too. Turn my guitar up. I'll bet your mama look good too. I'll bet your mama look good too. I bet your daddy wants your mama just the way that I want you. I bet your mama look good too. I bet your sister something fine. I bet she probably a 8.5 or a 9. Bet she's sexy as sin, but she still can't touch your 10. I bet your sister sure look fine. I bet your uncles and your brothers are big and strong. I bet they don't appreciate the way we carry on. They probably whoop my ass if they were so inclined. But if they don't understand, they would have to be blind, because your mama look good too. Yes, she do. I bet your grandma was a drop dead honey in her time. Your grandpa spent his money on her down to his last dime. Your aunts made all your uncles do the same thing too. Yes, this family condition, how y'all look the way you do. Bet your mama look good too. I bet your mama look good too. Your mama just the way that I want you. Your mama look good too. I'll bet your mama look good too. I'll bet your mama is a fine example of the stronger, smarter way. I'm the more fun to hang out with. Gender.
Okay, we're gonna stay with this theme. But first, before I forget, you have got to do a liner for our radio show. All right, so I need you to say, "This is Chuck Cannon, and this is real life, real music," and then I need you guys to go nuts. Okay, and I'll tell you when to stop.
Hey y'all, this is Chuck Cannon, and this is real life, real music.
That was great. Now you got a song about the best friend, and I want you to play the best friend song now.
Best friend.
Yeah, about the girl's best friend and the back room, the boyfriend and the back room and the... Oh yeah, don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. This is a good song. Mm-hmm. You wrote it, you play it.
Oh my God, I cannot believe you're asking for this song.
You'll thank me.
I don't know. So I remember it was about a week after I'd written this song, and the way this song ever even come about was there was this girl that I used to write with, and I still write with her, out on the West Coast, and she's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, she's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen, and because she's so pretty, she never really got taken seriously by the songwriting community. You know, all the guys, they was like, and you know, when I ran into her, I was married, you know, so I just listened. And she had all these really cool ideas. And we were writing a song one night over the telephone. We were trying to work on the second verse, and right in the middle of talking, all of a sudden she goes, I gotta go, I'm sorry, I gotta go. And I went, is everything okay? And she goes, yeah, everything's fine. I said, is everything all right? And she goes, yeah. She goes, I really want to be working on this song, but I promised my boyfriend that I would watch 24 with him. And it's about to come on. And I went, oh, okay, well, I understand. And she goes, And I said, but yeah, can't y'all tape it or something? She goes, no, I promised him, and you know, and my boyfriend's in my bedroom waiting for me, you know. And so I said, well, okay, we'll get back on this sometime. We hang up, and I'm thinking, boyfriend in your bedroom. And I know that she is going to turn her phone off. And so my plan is I'm just going to make up some silly little like 2-line or 4-line thing about your boyfriend, because that's great alliteration. Your boyfriend's in your bedroom. And there's talk about pregnant with possibilities. There's all kinds of ways your boyfriend in your bedroom can go. But so I thought, well, okay, she's not going to answer. She's going to turn her phone off, and I'll just leave something really funny, you know, like 4 lines. Y'all, the whole damn song came out. I mean, all of it, whole cloth, just like you're fixing to hear it. The whole song came out. And then I had used up all of her voice message time. I couldn't leave another message, so I sent her a text, and I said, hey, I left you a long voice message. Please don't erase that. It was a joke. Don't be mad at me, but don't erase it, because it's the only place on planet Earth that it exists. And then I went down to the studio, and I tried to remember all the lyrics, and I got most of them, but boy, if she hadn't saved it, the song would have been just like it would have been into the ether and been gone. But, okay, I can't believe you're having me play this song.
You need to play it.
So it's a song to all the girls in here. But, guys, I'm still a guy. And I know the difference. I really do. So even though this whole song is for the girls, the very last line of the song is for us guys. See what I did there? Gotta listen now. Your boyfriend's in your bedroom. There's something wrong. Your boyfriend's in your bedroom. He's been there too long. Your boyfriend's in your bedroom. You wish he was gone. Your boyfriend's in your bedroom and he don't turn you on. Your boyfriend's in your bedroom. He's all in love. Gave you everything he got, but that ain't enough. You found another lover, baby. What will you do? Your boyfriend's in your bedroom back there waiting for you. What you gonna do, girl? You close your eyes, those lights go dim. He's all into you, but you ain't into him. You're breaking his heart, he don't even know. Your boyfriend's in your bedroom, it's time you let him go. Let him go, girl. Your girlfriend know your secret, you hope she don't tell. She swore that she could keep it, but you know her too well. Your lover's talking dirty on your cellular phone. Your boyfriend's in your bedroom where he don't turn you on. So you close your eyes, those lights go dim. He's all into you, but you ain't into boyfriend's in your bedroom. He's on to your lies. You told him all them old ones, girl. Don't act so surprised. Your boyfriend's in your bedroom, committing a sin. Your boyfriend's in your bedroom with your very best. How'd y'all know how that story ends? Friend.
Chuck, let's give this away. I've got a 3-book
let's don't give it away.
Box set. No, we're going to give this one away to somebody.
Give it away?
I bought it, and I'm going to give it away. All right?
Okay, well, you do with your stuff what you want to do with your stuff.
Yeah. Go back to the bedroom, Chuck. This is between me and your girlfriend. Where's Bailey? Do y'all like my shirt? This is my 6 Whiskey shirt. I've got several of them that she's outfitted me with.
Oh, man, I love that.
Isn't that a great shirt?
I was actually going to say something to you about that tonight.
Well,
Ryan Michael quit making shirts, and I don't know where to buy them.
Well, we got you a place where you can buy these.
Up.
So, Bailey, you have to do the drawing, okay? Thank you to everybody that went by and checked out the new fall line. And did y'all have some whiskey? Did you drink some whiskey over at 6 Whiskey? It's always a good spot to stop in. Okay, just pull one out of there.
Come on, Bailey. Oh, I can do it.
You have to.
Bailey, you know who you
Pull one out and tell me
Bailey.
who you got. Now, while she's looking, I'm going to tell you this. The cool thing about this, they've been doing these for several years now, but the newest edition, all of the pictures taken in the newest edition were taken at Do-Si-Do, where we started doing our show 17 years ago. So there's a whole lot of real-life real music photos of artists in Volume 3, but also they asked me to be a contributing author to this book, and I got to include the history of real-life real music, including some of my favorite shows.
That's so great.
I talk about Hal Ketchum and Billy Joe Shaver and some of the guys that I've had these moments with that we won't ever get back. And so we're going to give one of these away to one of the people that showed up, but then they're going to have them right out here at this table. And remember, 100% of the proceeds go to help families of kids with Rett syndrome. So they're great coffee table books. If you love music, you're going to love this. Pick one up on the way out.
And they could get Chuck to sign it.
And they can get Chuck. That you can get Chuck to sign it.
I'll sign about anything.
Do what? I can't hear you.
Samantha Wilson.
Samantha Wilson. Samantha, where are you? All right. You're a winner.
Samantha, you know that was really Roxanne.
It is heavy.
Thank you
You're welcome. Thank you. And Bailey, thank you for giving us a cool place to get shirts and try whiskey. We appreciate you. All right. Can I play you a song, Chuck?
I can't wait.
All right. What do you play for Chuck Fanning? Okay, here. I'm going to play a song, and then you have to play a song. We'll make this thematic. You wrote one of my favorite songs. I don't know. I say it's about addiction. It's a song called Messes that you wrote. And unfortunately, we have dealt with that in our family. And, you know, the truth of the matter is you really ultimately can't clean up other people's messes, which I think you've written about very eloquently. And the other thing that is true is that if you've lived long enough you've come into contact with addiction, whether it's in your own family or somewhere right next to you. And I wrote this song for my wife and her sisters and her mom and everybody that has been collateral damage for the addiction of her biological father. And I'm playing in Beaumont on Thursday this week at Corval's with my buddy Radney Foster, and I are playing a show down there. And so I need to dust off this song because it's called Come Back to Beaumont. So I'm going to play it, and then I want you to play Messes.
Really? Boy, I have to remember. Okay, go.
All right. Sometimes life moves so fast. We make decisions, the drop of a hat. I wonder if that's where you're at. I run to the future as I run from the past. Oh, but what the hell do I know? You're 2,000 miles and been gone so long. But it's always secondhand on the telephone. Do you think of me when you think of home? Well, come back to Beaumont, where it all started. We'll take a time out and hang out on the back porch swing, and we can drive to the beach or stay here and drink some sweet tea. Yeah, whatever you want, just come back to Beaumont. Well, I'm willing to go there if you are, where hearts are still tender beneath all the scars. Or we can go drink mojitos with the locals at the bar. You call the shots if you come this far. Just come back to Beaumont, where it all started. We'll take a time out and hang out on the back porch swing, and we can drive to the beach or stay here and drink some sweet tea. Yeah, whatever you want. We can find your old man and beat him to the ground. We can gather your memories and burn them all down. Or if you're ready to do it right now, we'll forgive him. Just forgive him and come back to Beaumont, where it all started. You can keep running, but baby, you won't get away. There's no good time to face all the hell that you caught. So just come back to Beaumont, where it all started. We'll take a time out and hang out on the back porch swing. We could drive to the beach or stay here and drink some sweet tea. Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah, whatever soon. Hey, and grandmother satsuma trees, they're all in bloom. Messes.
Those kind of songs hurt. So you really want me to play Messes, or would you like to make these people laugh for a little while? Or do you want to hear Messes? I'd be loving to play Messes because I haven't played
I'm going to give you two choices, Messes or Fox.
Well, see, I was thinking Fox might be a fun one to do to get everybody kind of up because, man, that was a heavy song, bro.
Well, life's heavy. Life is heavy. Life is heavy.
Life is heavy.
But why don't we play that one? Let's play Fox. I think these people want to sing along.
So, yeah,
I mean, this song is not heavy.
You're right. So how many of y'all have never heard me play before? Never. How many have heard me play? Okay, well, there's a few of you in here that'll know this one. So, this year's song come about, like, do you realize closing in on 20 years ago?
This song?
Well, it was 2000. Wow. It was 2007. What is that? No, 10 years ago. 17
Surely there's an engineer in here.
17 years ago, right? 17, 18 years ago. And what is, and I just thought it was like this little passing thing that would, it would like be relevant to the political situation at that time. So what is that thing that y'all not supposed to talk about? There's two things you're not supposed to talk about in polite company. Politics and religion. Well, that last song concluded my portion of the show. Pretty much all my stuff is about that, and at some level. But it was in 2007, and the dude that has the two last names, and I have finally figured it out. Y'all have to understand, I didn't have TV at my house. Still don't really have TV at the house. I've got some internet that I can watch, but back in the 90s, man, and the 2000s, we didn't have no internet back there. It was just no TV. Raised 3 kids without TV.
Yeah! Now it's a party.
I mean, it was so funny. I remember one time my son, he was like 6 years old, and my wife was on the road, and I had to be the guy that took him to the birthday party, to his little friend's house, and I ain't gonna tell who it was because they might see this and they'd be embarrassed. But it was kind of funny because this woman, she comes up to me, and I'm kind of like, maybe there was one other father there, and she comes up and she starts talking to me really nice. She was the host, and she goes, "I just love your son Jackson so much. When he comes over, he's got Matt playing with toys that he hadn't played with in forever." And he just gets in his closet and gets Matt to play him. And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Yeah, he acts like he's never seen any of these toys." And I laughed, and I said, "Yeah, well, he may very well not have because, that we don't have TV." God is my witness. She goes, "Well, how does he know what to want?" Now, to her credit, she went like this. I just said that. That just came out of my mouth. And she went, "Oh, my God, so you're raising kids without TV?" And I said, "Yeah, works great." And but even though we didn't have TV, I'd be on the road and I'd be like at the Motel 6 where Tom Bodette left the light on. I mean, at real nice gigs, it'd be the Super 8. Sometimes you get gigs like this where they let you stay upstairs in a place like this. And, it's like okay to get in the shower without water shoes. Anyhow, there I was sitting on the end of the bed at the Motel 6 with the dude that has 2 last names, and I had figured it out. I figured out how to remember his name because it's alphabetical. It's not Cooper Anderson, it's Anderson Cooper. A comes before C. So now I can remember it as Anderson Cooper. He's the dude that looks like he bit into something that he thought was going to be sugary, and it was a lemon or sour. He's got that real concerned look on his face. Y'all ain't gonna be able to look at him again without remembering him saying that. But he had it was right in the middle of one of those big bubble burst collapse, what the hell ever, and he had a expert, economic expert on the TV with him, and he asked this expert, he said, how could our great country could have ever gotten in such a horrible position? That's when I hit the mute button, because I didn't need to hear what the expert said. I already knew. Y'all do too. We just don't want to admit it. But I wrote this whole song sitting there on the end of that bed answering Anderson Cooper's question, how could we have ever gotten into such a horrible position as a country? Now, the thing about it is it's a sing-along. A lot of y'all ain't never heard this before. So how are you going to know the words? You may be asking yourselves, well, what happened was I got to be about 3.5, 4 years old where I could talk pretty good, and I told my mama that first lie. And she blistered my little hiney, just like she ought to have. And then, you ain't going to believe this, she got down on her knee in front of me, shook her finger in my face, she said, baby, that hurt me.
More than it hurt you.
Y'all's mama did that too. I bet y'all didn't do this. That's when I looked back at Mama and I said, and accused her of lying to me. Oh, she shined that little hiney again. That's what she did. Woo, red and shiny. And then she leaned down and she said, baby, always tell the truth. The truth is easy to remember. Y'all see what I just did? If this song is the truth, it's going to be easy for y'all to remember. You can sing along. We're going to put Mama's theory to the test. All right. You let the fox watch the hen house, and now your chicken little story got scary. You let the dog watch the kitty cat. You let the kitty cat watch the canary. You let the kids have the keys to the candy store. You let the hippie keep an eye on the bone. You let the fox watch the hen house. There ain't no mystery about what went wrong. All right, that's y'all's part. Let's see if you got it. Starts with the fox. You let the fox watch the hen house. Now your chicken little story got scary, dog. You let the dog watch the kitty cat. You let the kitty cat watch the canary kids. You let the kids have the keys to the candy store. You let the hippie keep an eye on the bone. You let the fox watch the hen house. There ain't no mystery about what went wrong. All right, now y'all listen to me. Pay attention. If Gabriel, who's the choir leader in heaven, heard y'all just now, y'all ain't gonna get none of the good seats in the choir in heaven. I know we got some church people in here who know how to sing. Sing it out. I'll help you with the words next time around. Let's just do it real good. You let the fox watch the Chicken Little. Your Chicken Little story got scared. Dog. You let the dog watch the kitty cat. You let the kitty cat watch the canary. Yeah. You let the kids have the keys to the candy store. You let the hippie keep an eye on the bone. You let the fox watch the hen house. There ain't no mystery about what went wrong. All right, that's real good. Gabriel is proud. Ooh. He'll be back in just a minute. You let the banker watch the money, but you did not watch the banker. You let the oil man watch the oil field. He bought a shiny brand new oil tanker. You let the corporation pick the politician. You let the politician watch the corporation. And now you're sending around your internet petition about the broke down situation. You let the fox watch the hen house. Chicken Little. Your Chicken Little story got scary. Dog. You let the dog watch the kitty cat. You let the kitty cat watch the canary. Kids. You let the kids have the keys to the candy store. You let the hippie keep an eye on the bone. You let the fox watch the hen house. There ain't no mystery about what went wrong. Turns out that ain't all you did. You let the gigolo date your daughter. You let the cougar watch your teenage son. You let the smuggler guard the border. We letting Jesse James hold the gun. You got the tax man's hand in your pocket because you let the lawyers tell you right from wrong. Now that the terrorist got the rocket, I guess everyone can sing along. You let the fox watch the hen house. Now your Chicken Little story got scary. Dog. You let the dog watch the kitty cat. You let the kitty cat watch the canary. You let the kids have the keys to the candy store. You let the hippie keep an eye on the bone. You let the fox watch the hen house. There ain't no mystery about what went wrong. I want to let y'all sing it all by yourself. You let the fox watch the hen house. Chicken Little. Had the keys to the candy store. You let the hippie keep an eye on the bone. You let the fox watch the hen house. There ain't no mystery about what went wrong. Come on, baby. Yeah. Ooh. Somebody give her a microphone. You let the fox watch the hen house, and now all your eggs is gone. president. And make that my theme song.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to take your advice. I'm not going to say anything about politics or religion, but I am going to say thank you for hanging out with us tonight here on the Stella Sessions. Chuck Tanner.
Thank you so much. Hey, do y'all remember that song I played a little while ago about how the money don't matter? Yeah, that's just a song. I got it on a CD that's right out there on the merchandise table. And I will relieve you of some of that money that don't matter for some of that music that does. But now here's the deal. Don't you dare buy my CD and not get this. If you can't afford them both, just take one of my CDs home with you. Okay? Because this is a much better cause. What an honor to get to be here and share my songs with you people. There's a lot more of them, like I said, on them CDs. There's 6 of them out there. And I hope you'll avail yourself, and I hope Kyle asks me to come back here one day, because I love hanging out there.
You will be asked back, brother. You have an open invitation. Now, Tara could not be here with us tonight, but she would be really upset with me if I did not ask you to play the song that when we used to go dancing at the Texas Hall of Fame, God rest its soul, down the road down here, we'd go twirling around the floor listening to the house band play some of the best 80s and 90s country music. There was this love song that would come on, and I would sing the words in her ears. I tried to remember 1, 2, 1, 2. Trying to sing and two-step at the same time is something I wasn't that good at. But you wrote a song that John Michael Montgomery recorded, and I don't know, you've received about every award there could be to receive for this song, from anybody involved in country music or the guys that collect royalties for songwriters like BMI. And country songs don't get much bigger than this. So play this one for Tara tonight. And thank you for being here.
So this is a song that brought me to the dance, and I wrote it with Victoria Shaw, who's a wonderful songwriter. And just a beautiful soul. And John Michael, you know, he actually on my honeymoon, we went to the Academy Awards, and I won Song of the Year for this song on my honeymoon. And I wrote it about the girl I had just married. You know, it's kind of cool. And then that was in '94, and then about 4 years later, a group out of Ireland called Boyzone. And now John Michael, that was a big deal, you know, Song of the Year, #1 for, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks. I can't even remember. It doesn't matter. It was a big song, and it proved to my daddy that I was a songwriter. Although, do y'all remember when it was the days when, you know, instead of getting the whole tuxedo, you'd like wear the tuxedo top and then a pair of jeans with a hole in the knee and some high top tennis shoes? Well, that's what I wore at the award show. And my daddy, the next day, he left me a message. He said, "Well, son, now that you've won that award, maybe you can afford to rent the rest of that tuxedo." But John Michael had a big song, a big hit on this thing, and then 4 years later, this group called Boyzone out of Ireland. Now, I thought John Michael was a big deal, and then I got paid, to put it in perspective, on John Michael, I got paid on about 4 million sales. Wow. It's a lot. It's a big deal. On Boyzone, I got paid on over 21 million. Wow. They were huge. But they were never big in America, and they were going to come here, and that was going to be their first single here in America, and 9/11 happened.
Oh, man.
It was just that, you know. But they did a good job of it. I mean, you know, it's way different. But one of the coolest things just happened, Kyle. You ain't going to believe this. You probably already know. John Michael's son, Walker, just put I Love the Way You Love Me out again. And it's so good. He sounds so much like his daddy. John, if you're watching this, sorry. He's better than you, Hoss. He's just better than you. You can't help it that he can sing better than you. And you should be proud. So, I love John for making the song famous. Love Boyzone for making it more famous, and I'm so thrilled that Walker is singing it now. And if y'all haven't heard Walker Montgomery sing this thing, look it up and listen. It's wonderful. He's so good, and he sounds a whole lot like his daddy too. I'm gonna sing it high tonight. I'm feeling froggy. Don't you think we ought to get them in the mood for this song? So I know I'm looking around the room. There's a lot of men in here, but there's a few women too. Y'all look better than they do. Y'all will probably remember this better than the men do. Y'all remember when you would go out on a date? You were in love. You go out on a date and you walk them to the front porch and you kiss them goodnight on the front porch, and then you open the door for them, and they go in, and then you close the door, and you go get in your car, and you drive home. But you ain't had quite enough yet. And so you call them on the telephone. This is before cell phones. You call them on the telephone, and you sit there, and you talk, and you talk, and you talk, until you run out of stuff to say. And then you just sit there and listen to each other breathe. The girls remember this. Oh, you must have had a bad experience with a bad man or something. We talking about love here. Y'all remember that? Everybody breathe with me. I mean, you talk and run out, and then you sit there and breathe in each other's ear on the phone. Let's do it again. Breathe. There I was, breathing into the girl that I was going to marry's ear over the telephone, her breathing into mine. We had run out of things to say, and we just sitting there listening to each other breathe. All of a sudden, I hear the water running. And I said, baby. Again, that's how I talked to her back then. BK, B4 kids. I said, baby. She go, And I said, what's that water running? And she said, I'm warming up my bath. Now, we've been on the phone for 2 hours. I've been listening to her breathe for an hour. And she's warming up her bath. And I thought to myself, well, now I ain't going to tell y'all what I thought to myself. But I ended up marrying her. And you got to be careful what you do around a country songwriter, because it end up one of their songs. The sound of your sweet gentle kiss, and the way that your fingers run through my hair, and how your scent lingers even when you're not there. And I like the way your eyes dance when you laugh, and how you enjoy your 2-hour bath. The way you convince me to dance in the rain, with everyone watching like we were insane. But I love the way you love me. strong and wild, slow and easy, heart and soul, so completely. I love the way you love me. Oh, and I like the way that you sing sweet and low when they're playing our song on the radio. And I like the innocent way that you cry, that sappy old movies you've seen hundreds of times. But I love the way you loved me. Strong and wild, slow and easy, heart and soul, so completely I love the way you love me. And I can list a million things that I love to like about you, but they all come down to one reason. How will I ever live without you? I love the way you loved me. Strong and wild, slow and easy, heart and soul, so completely I love the way you loved me. Oh, baby, I love the way you love me. That's for Tara.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chuck Cannon.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much.
Thank y'all for being here tonight. Be on the lookout. We are gonna. What'd you just say? One more.
You want to get them rocking?
You got one more in you? Hey, thank y'all. Y'all have been very patient tonight. We've talked a lot. We've been here late. All right.
Y'all want to rock a little bit?
Play us one more.
All right. Can everybody say strange?
Strange.
Oh, you got to say it like this. Can everybody say strange? Strange. 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 All right, you got your part. Everybody say strange. 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 Mama's in the kitchen, Daddy's on the phone, Sister watching TV. I was upstairs all alone, picking on my guitar, just a tweaking on my twang. Up all night, sleep all day. People say I'm strange, strange. My girlfriend works at Walmart. She'll check your merchandise. You give her any lip and she will cut you down to size. She got a crucifix and a crystal hanging on a silver chain, and a fish hook belly button ring with a tattoo that says strange, strange, just a little strange, a little wild and dangerous, and slightly deranged. Don't you ever change. Everybody out there wants a little strange, strange, strange. Okay, Chuck Berry said this, that rock and roll is about two things and two things only, and that's the girl in the car. So tonight, I went and made me up a verse about the girl and the car. And I'm gonna let y'all figure out tonight which one of these lines in this verse is about the car. She got skirt side on the fenders, headlights to the wind, crushed velvet on the seats, make a bowl slide right on in. Two-tone drop-top Cadillac, cherry red and pink champagne, cold around the tail light, lights blade says, guess what? Strange, strange, just a little strange, a little wild and dangerous, and slightly deranged. Don't you ever change. Everybody out there wants a little strange, 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 strange. Pretty good, y'all. This even in the Bible, King David on the throne, he had all the gold that a man could spend, had a harem all his own. He was looking out his window before they had a window pane. He saw Bathsheba bathing, started thinking to himself, strange, 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 strange. Wild and dangerous and slightly deranged. Don't you ever change. Everybody out there wants a little strange. My name's Chuck Cannon. Kyle, thank you so much for having me here tonight. What a pleasure. At the beautiful Stella, what a great place to play music. Thank you to everyone. Thank y'all. My name's Chuck Cannon. I'm a whole lot strange.
Chuck Cannon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for being such a cool audience. Hey, we'll be back here next month with Tracy Bird. Y'all come out and see us again.